Welcome back to the channel. I'm Just United. We're back for another one. This time it's for the Manchester United versus Villa game, which ended at a 0-0 draw at Villa Park. And I'm joined today by my boy Mando, who's come to help us with this review and give his thoughts on the game.
Thanks for having me as well today, Gov, and hi guys. So yeah,
Why? We're going to talk about the Aston Villa game and we're going to get into a few of the things I want to talk about. Firstly, I want to talk about how we started the game with Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire in defence, running it back to that Leicester lineup. What did you think about that in Erik Ten Hag's third season? What did you think about Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans starting in defence?
honestly, I think it was a good partnership. On paper, when I first saw it, I was like
Worried.
I was thinking maybe 4-1 Villa at the time.
Yeah, honestly, I was scared as well.
And then throughout the game, I was like really optimistic, and then but I just don't get it. We're going backwards. We're starting players that ex-Man United players come back at probably the last of his legs. Harry Maguire, fans have wanted him out for a while now, but somehow it's clicking, and it's like, okay, so what do we do with Martinez?
I agree. I didn't think he'd drop Martinez for the game. I actually didn't even think that he'd start them two in defence. I did predict that he'd start Harry Maguire because obviously he got him the goal midweek. Obviously, I think, with De Ligt and Martinez, maybe they're lacking confidence. So maybe he wanted to take him out the firing line because say he starts them two again, and like you said, we concede and and then we lose by a big margin. It just puts extra pressure on himself, and it takes confidence away from him. Obviously, I don't think in any sort of way that being Manchester United, we should be starting with Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans in defence. I think most of you guys would agree with me on that as well. But yeah, I agree with you. They were pretty solid when they played, and they did obviously concede their chances, and but they kept a clean sheet.
Yeah.
Obviously, Maguire went off injured in the end, but they kept a clean sheet, and Johnny Evans was man of the match. And if that doesn't say to you how the game went, and how the game was played from a Manchester United point of view, then I don't know what else will. But yeah, give me your thoughts on the game in general. What did you think? Did you think that Ten Hag, did he take the risks that he needed to win the game?
Oh, definitely not. I feel like he was playing to keep his job.
Safe.
Definitely safe. I get we're a big club, and but fans expect you to go out there and take risks and win. Like, we're meant to be on the levels of Real Madrid.
Do you think he would have took more risk if his job wasn't on the line?
Yeah, I genuinely think he would. If you look at the FA Cup final against City, loads of risks, but it worked out in our favour.
Yeah.
I get Villa are an upcoming team. They
Champions League team now.
They are a Champions League team, and they are a challenge for any team in the Premier League. But we should be still going out there with the risk and the mindset. We're gonna go out here to win the game. And so, can you tell me who our back four confidently are?
Well, I know Dallo starts for sure. I know Anana's in there because we ain't gonna start anybody else in goal. Obviously, we ain't got no fit left back. Tara Malacia come back from the dead. Luke Shaw's been missing since he went away for the Euros with England. I still do not understand till this day how you can be fit for England but then come back to Manchester United and be injured for the amount of time that he is. I think we're going to cut ties and we're going to drop him. As much as the chemistry with Marcus Rashford is amazing when Luke Shaw does play, and when he's fit, he's one of the best left backs in the country. But is it good enough to constantly be thinking, is he going to be fit? Is he going to be injured? Is it good enough for Manchester United? I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I think he's good enough for Man United, but as a rotation player.
As a rotation player.
We still need him there for the experience. Someone's got to pass on experience to the youngsters. Even Malacia, he needs experience from someone.
That's true.
So that's why you keep them kind of players in your team to pass on.
Would you even keep Malacia though? I don't even know if I'd keep him. The amount of time he's been injured, we don't even know what happened to him Last season, obviously, it was a knee injury. People saying it's a knee injury. People saying that he had mental health and all sorts of things when
Yeah,
when he first got injured.
yeah.
I don't even know what that situation might be like next season or towards the end of this season. But is he going to be another Luke Shaw who we're constantly thinking is he going to be fit or not? I just don't know where we go from here, to be honest, in terms of a left back.
I honestly don't see him having a future at Man United.
No.
No, I'll give him a season, and then I think we'll just end up trying to sell him and make
What
some kind of.
what did you make of the rest of the players in the team? In terms of, obviously, we've just gone through the defense, and we both agree that
Yeah.
Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans shouldn't be starting for us. But what do you think of the rest of the players in terms of the midfield? Let's go through the midfield. What did you think of Bruno, Ericsson, and Kobe Mainoo in that midfield?
Bruno looks scared, in my opinion. I think the
Scared or burnt out?
burnt out as well, but even when Bruno's burnt out, the passion he normally shows, you see, and I think the last two matches with the card situation, I think that's affected him for the Villa game. If you
Playing on
notice,
his mind now. He
yeah,
doesn't want to probably get sent off again.
there were times in the game and I'm looking at him trying to contemplate that challenge,
Yeah.
and he almost pulled himself back because he's fearful that he's going to get the repercussion, similar to how he's in the last few games.
What did you think of the referee in that game as well, by the way? My mum was handing out cards. I think it was something like Villa had 14 fouls, we had 11,
Yeah.
and we had like 5 yellow cards or something by that point. My mum was handing out cards like no man's business.
I don't think it's even just a Villa game. I feel like there's an agenda against us. I think it's like revenge from Fergie days. You know how people used to say.
I agree. When I've been going to the games, I see, and sometimes I wish I could just go in that dressing room because, I want to say to the players that these refs aren't going to give you anything unless it's clear cut. Like, if there's a VAR decision, it's going to go against us. If it's an offside, it's going to go against us. And you know what? I see it sometimes, like, even if it's not offside or it may be offside, I'm not saying that it isn't. I'm not coming for all refs. I'm just saying it may not be offside, but literally, if it's against us and they think it's offside, they'll raise their flag straight away. They won't even let us carry on with the attack. Like, you're meant to play the attacking advantage. I don't see that from any referees anymore. Like, for United, at least, I just see that either they're going to book our players. Like, look, they booked both of our central defenders. They booked Bruno. They booked Rashford. How's Ericsson? How are they going to put in a tackle? How are they going to do anything? I think Ericsson got booked in the first 2 minutes of the game on his first tackle. Yes, it might have been a yellow, but it's the first tackle. Let him off with a warning. But I feel like any chance that the referees get, they just want to pull out that booking or not give us the advantage.
So correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure in the second half, I believe it was, Garnacho got fouled.
Yeah.
Very similar to the same foul that Rashford committed earlier on.
Yeah.
But
it wasn't given.
It wasn't given.
Yeah.
And it's like, why is there a double standard here for us and other players? And it's like, I think in the last few games, we've had more cards than the other team.
I just honestly feel like, I don't know what it is. I think these players have just got to understand that the refs aren't going to give them anything in these games. They've got to put it on their own shoulders and try and cut something out of the game. Obviously, we've talked about the midfield and Bruno, Ericsson. I think he doesn't have the legs. Kobe Mainoo's just coming back from injury, so maybe he wasn't match sharp to be playing in that game. I would have liked to go with a Casemiro or a Garte. You paid that much money for him. Why don't you play him? But yeah, I don't know where we go from here in terms of midfield because I agree the structure's wrong. But I want to talk about a little bit about the attack now. None of our strikers or wingers are firing. Xerxes comes on the pitch and he just looks lost. Like, I think he sold us a dream with that Fulham game. He just comes on, one touch in the back of the net. But I said it in the last match review, and I keep saying it until he changes the way he plays. I do not want to see from my striker link-up play. I want to see from my striker something similar to what Rasmus Højlund does, running in the box and getting on the end of things and trying to score. I don't care about the link-up play. That's for the midfielders and the wingers to do. What are your thoughts on that?
I just want to cut back to the midfield conversation quickly.
Okay. Go for it.
Does this not make more sense? Casemiro We even said it at the end of last season. He's
Finished.
finished.
Yeah.
Ericsson, like you said, old. Does that guy not have a pacemaker? So wouldn't it make more sense?
Heart resuscitation on tag.
Okay, keep Ericsson. We should have got rid of Casemiro. Why have we got rid of McTominay?
I
Ericsson.
was saying this in the preview to the game. This guy is on fire, isn't he, for Napoli?
But he was on fire for us.
And yeah, I
How
don't
many
know.
games last season? How many games did McTominay save us?
Plenty.
So we should have, in my opinion, for this season, it should have been a McTominay, Minor, and Ericsson. Or that third person, you could put anyone you want in there because you got the young legs of Colby, you've got McTominay, the box to box, and then you just got the other person there just to whatever you need in that team that day.
I agree. I don't know why we got rid of McTominay, whether it was whether to balance the books or whatever. I don't know. Obviously, we've signed a Carter and he doesn't look much better, to be honest.
I don't see the difference between Agate and McTominay. And I do agree with your point about Xerxes. I think Hoyland's, as it looks at the moment, is looking like the striker that we need. Again, Xerxes,
do you think we should have signed a more senior striker in the transfer window? Do you think that should have been a priority? Because I can't see where the goals are coming from. Marcus Rashford's form's just up and down. We can't really rely on him. He looks like he's having confidence issues. Garnacho's obviously young. He's not as experienced to get the ball in the box, or he just sometimes he's getting shrugged off by the defenders as well because he's so young and he's not as built as the other wingers in our team. Anthony looked good when he came on. He looked like, obviously, that's a lot for me to say, but he looked decent when he came on. He always fights. I think one thing you want from your players, yes, he may not be the end goal, but one thing you always want is someone to fight. And when he came on, he did look like he was trying to get that winning goal. He took a few shots. Martinez saved it, and I think one he missed where, it just went wide, and that looked like it was going top bins. Yeah. But I don't know where we go from here. I thought Ruud van Nistelrooy would have solved some of these issues. What do you think? Do you think Ruud van Nistelrooy has a bit more of a part to play rather than everybody jumping on Ten Hag saying, "Oh, it's all Ten Hag's fault, all Ten Hag's fault"? Do you think the coaching staff should take some responsibility from the way that we're playing?
No, the manager's the one that is running the football side of things. So we think. Unless something else is going on behind the scenes.
From when we were watching that game, it looked like Ruud was telling them what to do in the dying moments of the game.
I think it's because Eric's got no control over that back room no more. He has no control over those players, and I think it's going to be like what they did to Ollie, where they're just going to not give the effort. They're going to do the minimum until they can get a manager swap. I do believe we need a manager that has achievements. Not to say that Eric hasn't got achievements, but
higher caliber, maybe.
Definitely high caliber. Or if you compare him to Ollie, what's the difference between Ollie and Eric, really?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I agree.
And I'll tell you the biggest thing that gives me the ick about Eric. I feel like he's turned Man United into a reunion of Ajax players.
Yeah.
So if you look at De Ligt, he can't pass a ball. Maguire's better on the ball than him from the back.
Yeah.
So it's like, why did we get De Ligt? And he's wanted De Ligt for from the moment he got here.
Yeah.
So it's like, but he's
okay. So in 2 words, sum up that Villa draw. What? Give me 2 words.
2 words.
Or 1. It doesn't have to be 2. You can give me 1.
Average.
That was Manchester United versus Aston Villa review, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. See you later.